a lot of kids are afraid at school.
Shantala Boss is a licensed mental health counselor whose patients are mostly teenagers. In the last couple of years, she's seen a surge of demand.
There's a fear there, and a lot of times I don't even think they understand why or exactly what it is.
The counselor's experience is backed by the Youth Risk Behavior Survey. It's an in-depth assessment of students' health and well-being done across the state, and it shows just before the pandemic, kids were not okay. The study found students feeling sad or hopeless for 2 weeks or more increased almost 7.5% from 2009 to 2019. Compared to the rest of the U.S., Florida students were more likely to skip a day of school because they felt unsafe. In fact, in Orange County, 17.3% of students said they skipped a day of school because they were scared to be there. That's practically double the national numbers. A fear that may only be heightened since a gunman opened fire at a Texas elementary school in May.
I've had kids come in and tell me that they don't know what to expect anymore. So it's almost like there's this fight or flight response in the back of their head that is always kind of hanging over them.
Just one of many stressors kids contend with day to day.
I say mostly social media though, because that's like a new bullying ground.
And it's mostly because of like the cell phones and the laptops.
Boss says the pandemic only made things worse, forcing growing and evolving minds into a bubble with little human interaction.
It's hard for us as an adult with a fully developed brain to be able to figure out and function and know how to deal with all these conflicting ideas and responses. So as a child, I can only imagine having access to all of this information and having no real education or information on how to navigate that. It's overwhelming.
The State Board of Education is now requiring every public school to provide students in 6th through 12th grade at least 5 hours of mental health instruction each year. And our local school districts have been working through the summer to beef up those mental health resources for their students.
It's very important, and unfortunately when we had COVID in play with our mitigation, we weren't able to train our staff up to the levels that we wanted to. So providing those opportunities over the course of this summer to make sure our teachers and our employees have all that youth mental health first aid training has been a focus for us.
Of course, staffing is a problem. Being realistic, there aren't that many mental health professionals around, and so we do struggle with trying to fill those positions, but we have budgeted for it.
As schools prepare resources to help your students in the classroom, what can you do as a parent? Boss says create an environment at home that feels safe.
Really, it's important to talk to them, to have open conversations and communication, not that you're bearing down and trying to take over, but really developing that bond with them to make them feel like they're safe and that they can be heard.